Hey guys, Marsingin here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be taking a look at the new Battlefield LR Garlic Jr. I want to do this video a little bit differently because he's a Battlefield LR. They did actually make it so that you can buy all 5 copies of him, but for anyone who is wondering whether or not that is worth it, this video is going to be in 2 parts, and I'm going to do a 55% showcase. I've just bought 1 copy. I haven't link leveled him or anything yet, so he is brand new, fresh out of the barber shop. And then we're going to see how he does for a few turns, and then we're going to switch over to the private server and take a look at him rainbow level 10 links to see the difference and to see what kind of performance he does at that level and whether or not he is indeed worth getting all of the copies or even any of the copies, because if his 55% and his rainbow performance isn't that great, then realistically why are you buying any copies of him at all, right? So he has the intro animation. Now somehow through sheer RNG on the private server I had him on the first turn straight away. Here I had to restart the event I think 3 times, but I've actually ended up with the exact same rotation. So when we go over to the private server we have this exact rotation. So we would have big bad bosses. I guess here it doesn't matter because it's not level 10. So we don't actually have the full thing here. But this is the Battlefield LR Garlic Jr. The art is pretty cool. I like it has the mini Garlic Jr. in the background. And then you've got your menacing red aura, which expands. Looks pretty cool for a free-to-play LR. I like it. So this guy has a movie bosses lead for 130, which obviously the leader skill, nothing really important. His 18 key super raises attack and defense for 6 turns, does mega colossal damage to the enemy, raises extreme allies defense by 20% for 1 turn, which is interesting because I don't think he's really a slot 1 unit, so him raising defense for 1 turn doesn't seem crazy valuable. And then his 12 key super is just raise defense for 1 turn and do colossal damage to the enemy. He gets the entrance animation when there's 2 or more demonic power or movie bosses allies on the team, and that gives him 100% defense as well as demonic power or movie boss allies 60% attack and defense for 3 turns, and he infinitely will change key spheres from tech to rainbow. Then his base effects: 5 key, 200% attack and defense, additional 2 key per rainbow key sphere obtained. When all allies in the same turn are demonic power or movie bosses, he gets 200% extra attack and 40% damage reduction. Then when he attacks with 12 or more key, he gets 250% to stats. 2 or more AGL key spheres obtained gives him 20% damage reduction. And then 1 or more int key spheres, he gets 20%. 1 STR, he gets 20%. 1 physical, he gets 20%. Those are only 1 only. So if you can't get 2 AGL orbs, but you can grab like an int orb, then for example on the next turn you can't get 2 AGL orbs. You can't get the int orb again, but you could grab an STR or a physical orb and then he would get that extra 20. So he'd have 60% damage reduction if you do that. Then this is a weird glitch where this actually goes off the screen. So it's, I've got the details up here on the Dokkan info. When the character or an ally attacking in the same turn is KO'd, starting from the 4th turn from his entry turn, revives with 80% HP recovered, and then after the character or an ally has revived, permanent 250 attack buff, permanent launch an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super, and then 1 time only demonic power or movie bosses allies attack and defense 60% and chance to crit 30% for 3 turns. So it's basically like his active skill, his intro buff again, but also with the crit chance. So we'll go ahead and see how good he can be here. He's got 253k defense start of turn, and we can get some AGL orbs. So, although annoyingly, I'll have to get this one for you. I mean, we don't really care too much about Golden Frieza actually attacking, but go ahead and grab those. And then ideally we want to get, the support for Janemba here as well. There we go. Alright, so we'll see how well Garlic Jr. does. Obviously, giving that little bit of extra defense here to Janemba is actually kind of helpful. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Again, no big bad bosses, so it means he is missing out on a pretty decent chunk of stats. I was thinking about potentially just insta-link leveling just big bad bosses to 10 with the link skill orbs, but I know that not everybody is going to be able to do that. Like if you want to pick up Garlic Jr., but you're not able to do that and have to kind of link level him slowly like the normal way, you kind of want to see how good he just is going to be now. So I mean, 25 million attack stats, not bad, and then that's just the one attack. But then I guess he's providing a decent bit of support. Like, he's an interesting character because his support is from his intro. It's for 3 turns. Once that runs out, until he revives, he then isn't a support unit after that. So the thing is, it's kind of like his role for the team is somewhat questionable. Because it's like, if you're going to put him on the team to be a support unit, he only supports for like 3 turns. And then it has to change, like, he has to get the revive in order to actually start giving support again. So either way, let's do this. Don't have a great turn here for the... They're getting double freezer on turn 2. Funnily enough, the next rotation on the private server one that had the same starting rotation... Oh, actually, no, this first turn isn't the same on the private server anyway. We have... Oh, no, it is, but Tech Golden Freezer... I was looking at the thing at the bottom, that's why. The first turn is the same, but the second turn is not double Tech Golden Freezer. It's Tech Golden Freezer, STR Broly, and then Inch and Ember, who obviously must be in slot 7 on the actual main account version here. But yeah, so obviously I think for this Garlic Jr., you probably would just be floating him off, although with his intro buff, the support only being for 3 turns, it means if you float him off on his first appearance, then when he comes back the next time, he's then already not giving any support, although his revive is then available from that turn. Because obviously, because it's the 4th turn from his entry turn, it means here on this next upcoming rotation, he's only been in the fight for 3 turns, so his revive won't be available on this next turn coming up. But okay, so yeah, we'll put Janemba in slot 3. I mean, I kind of want to put Janemba in slot 1 for the more likely to have big bad bosses scenarios, but yeah, so you can see here we can't really get 2 AGL orbs in any way, shape or form, but because he's not getting hit, I'm not going to get like a physical orb, because then that means we wouldn't be able to get the physical orb damage reduction later on if we wanted to. So that is something to bear in mind, like when you get those orbs other than AGL to give him damage reduction, it's a one-time only thing. So if you get it on a turn where he then doesn't actually need it, then it's kind of wasted, right? So that is something to think about. But yeah, no big bad bosses here means obviously not like any sort of crazy stats for Garlic Jr. I should have specifically looked at his defense as well, because he does get the raise on his 18 key super for 6 turns. Which means if we keep him on rotation, not only does he still have the buff now, but he still has it on the next turn as well. So he'll also have this buff from this 18 key super. No additional again, sadly, but obviously mine's 55%. Being an AGL unit though, he does have level 5 additional. But yeah, not enough here to carry him through. So we'll do that. And then I guess grab those. Actually, I should have tried to drop down the other orbs for Janemba, but I suppose Broly's going to kill them here regardless. So, I mean, the friend Golden Freezer getting hit once, even with the Rainbow Friend, isn't going to be enough to finish them off here. But yeah, the revival will be active from the next turn, so I probably should try and get it, even if it means putting him in slot 1, which, like, he's not really a slot 1 unit, but we want to see the revival, like, in the video. So 54 million for STR Broly here. Okay, so oh yeah, we're going to have the, of course, the animations are all on, so we've got the exchange, the reversible exchange is ready for Tech Gogeta. Okay, so revival is now available. But I mean, this is why this guy could be so useful, because like on this turn, I mean, if we really wanted to, for like if it was the last phase of the fight, we could do this and use the Tech Golden Freezer active skill. See, we can't get 2 rainbow orbs again here. I guess we just do this and get the revive, I guess, because he shares no links with Golden Freezer and just Thirst for Conquest with the Tech Golden Freezer. Well, that's not ideal, but go ahead and do that. Do that. He should die here so we can get the revive and see Not just the animation, but then have the post-revive effects in play. Oh yeah, especially if he's going to get supered straight away. Man is cooked. Yeah, 2 million damage with a crit. Let's go. But here we go. Garlic Jr. revive. It's pretty cool. I will never die. And then, like, he could just straight up die, like, the next turn. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. I want to just make sure we get to the next turn, so I should have turned the animations off. I always forget, like, once I turn them on, because I want to see, like, the new unit's intro or something, I always forget to just turn them off. And then I'll mention it multiple times in the video. Every single time I use someone's active skill, it's like, oh yeah, I haven't turned them off yet. And then I forget to turn them off. Because, yeah, he doesn't have an active skill, so... Alright, so let's turn them off. There's probably no more that would even come up now anyway, but... Turn them off, do this, do this. Grab the tech orbs for Frieza just so we at least get the heal. Obviously, Janemba being in slot 1 provides a little bit of support as well. Not a great rotation for Janemba, because of course no big bad bosses on Broly. Or the Tech Golden Frieza, annoyingly. But I guess, like, the one time it makes sense, I guess, is the Frieza from the Broly movie not having big bad bosses. But normal Golden Frieza absolutely should have big bad bosses. The one from Resurrection of F. But it is what it is, I suppose. Get a couple of attacks off here. Yeah, Frieza just getting a ton of build up now. Frieza should do a nice nice attack here at the end of the turn. Yeah, 102 million. It's pretty good. 94 million damage crit, and then we have a 66.6 million additional. Alright, hidden potential? Ah, that would have been nice. Okay, so the problem, I guess, here is that the AGL Golden Frieza is not ideal in slot 1. So Garlic Jr., his start of turn defense without big bad bosses, 280, is not good. Big bad bosses, obviously, at level 10 would be another 25%, which only puts him at like 350. So 350k defense. That's why he wants to be a slot 2 unit, because he gets 250% attack and defense when he supers. So then he's going up to like much closer to 1 million, whilst also having 60% damage reduction if you picked up the right orbs. But the problem is, even that, like, with no guard or anything like that, even 1 million defense with 60% damage reduction means that he dies to what, like a 3 million damage super? And the hardest hitting bosses in the game are all hitting like way harder than that. So could be a bit of a liability in certain situations. Obviously, again, this is him without big bad bosses here as well, which is not super ideal for him. Man, Golden Frieza might die to this. But yeah, he seems like he could be pretty decent, but 55%, yeah. 55%, I don't think he's anything, like, too crazy. But obviously the big thing we're all kind of here to see that we want to jump into now is if we bring up the private server, where, like I say, we've got the exact same starting rotation, is can we have a better viewing with him here at Rainbow full level 10 links. So, oh yeah, I put the intro, I put the animations on here because I wasn't sure which one I was going to do first. I don't know why. It makes sense to do the 55% one first, but Golden Frieza with his incredibly long intro. Okay, so come on, Golden Frieza. We're done with your introduction here. Let's go Garlic Jr. again. I like the detailing on like the his face and everything before the transformation. I like the fact that it has that old school like Dragon Ball movie look to it as well, which is pretty cool. Okay, so Rainbow full level 10 links. So with big bad bosses active, because it's level 10, so it'll be active straight away. We've got 500k defense start of turn linked up with the Janemba. So that's much better, because it means when we get 250% when attacking, that's basically, what, 1 million, just over 1 million. That's considerably better. So we'll do that. Do that. And get those for you as well for the support. Okay. So this should be a good turn for Garlic Jr. here. Significantly different, I think, from, well, obviously, because this is the thing, right? The difference between 55% and Rainbow and then level 10 links on top is obviously pretty big. There's no disputing that the point of the video is not just to show, hey, look, he's better Rainbow level 10 links than he is 55%. It's like, yeah, no, of course he is. But the real thing here is to see, is he good enough Rainbow level 10 links? Do you want to buy all of the copies of him straight away from the Battlefield shop? If you even can, right? Because obviously Battlefield memories, not the easiest to accumulate. 42.7, that's pretty good. Free to play unit, like 42.7. Then we actually get the additional. Like additional and dodge is probably going to be his go-to build, I would imagine. These guys hit for like 3.5 million. There you go. Not bad. Because yeah, I like to try this stage to try out new units and new teams. But yeah, phase 1, Kalen Khalifa hit for like 3.5 million. And he tanked that for double-digit damage. So that's pretty decent, I would say, for our free-to-play boy over here. See what this turn 2 is going to be looking like. Yeah, I guess I do this. I have to trust Janemba in slot 1, which I don't like doing, but Int Janemba has let me down in difficult content way too much by not dodging. Like when he got his Super Easy A, I was definitely not as high on him as maybe some people, because it was around the time, like in the anniversary, it was around the Battle Hardened Formidable Foes, I think, meta, and the number of times I died against like the last boss of a run in those events because Janemba wouldn't dodge. Whereas like the Estiago Gia, who Super Easy A'd at the same time, I feel like he was underrated. Like I think he was really, really good. He's still usable now, like on certain like Fused Fighter setups and everything as a floating support. But yeah, Super Easy A Broly, pretty good here. Getting some good damage output. I'm not sure how well he tanks us. I mean, post-super, he tanks pretty well, yeah. Especially with type advantage. As long as you've got type advantage, a lot of these characters don't have to worry as much. It's when you're type neutral or obviously at worst type disadvantage that you kind of have to worry a little bit about their them getting sniped by a super. But against a physical boss, Broly, pretty comfortable. Oh, nice. I'm gonna say we can put him in slot 1. So no big bad bosses for this guy, obviously, but in fact no links at all. Still at 443k defense though, because he got the 18 key super last time, which obviously gives him the buff for multiple turns. So we'll go ahead and do this. We got the 2 rainbow orbs, so he has the damage reduction. So it's only at 30 million attack. I mean, to be fair, like 30 million attack for a free-to-play unit with no links active, like that's definitely not terrible. They dodged the additional, because of course they did. Double digits from the normals, which is what we would expect anyway, realistically, from normals. But yeah, no links active, 30 million attack stat, and then tanked for double digit damage. Like, I don't think it's probably much of a stretch to say that this guy's probably one of the best, if not the best, free-to-play units that's released. I mean, really, when you think about it this year, the really good free-to-play units have been the Rose clones, STR, Nova, the Super Easy A for Zamasu Goku is pretty good. That Int Goten and Icarus is really good. But yeah, Garlic Jr. I think is definitely very, very solid. Is he worth like the Insta Rainbow though? That's the big question, and I'm not sure. This is a really sketchy rotation. I do have items on the private server, although I don't know what I think I was doing like a nuke challenge for something on a stream the other day. I do not have the I do not have like a ghost usher or anything that would have been very helpful here. But we'll go ahead and do that. Hopefully Janemba can just come in clutch. Good. I was going to say, you watch the super be like the one attack he doesn't dodge, and then that kills me. Obviously Janemba, no big bad bosses. We'll split him up because I might as well have the Janemba floating so he can provide some support. Oof, yeah, see. Oh, Janemba, what are you doing? Bruh! Bruh! This is exactly what I mean! This is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh, Injun Ember, why? Right, let's take these off and throw on Ghost Usher, Whis, Princess Snake, Icarus, I guess. Man, this is exactly what I'm saying. Look at Injun Ember just being an absolute salesman. Dodged all of those attacks in slot 1, and I was like, yeah, okay. This is what I'm talking about. This is what Janemba should be doing. And then bro just decides to wholesale. Alright, so I mean, we've already seen a decent bit from Garlic Jr. here so far, but we'll get another couple of turns in here at least. Yeah, so he's not getting the AGL orbs here. You can get the thing from an STR orb once, right? So I guess at least we're doing that. 3 rainbow orbs though, so that means a lot of key, which is good. I'm gonna do this. Janemba, don't you give me that? Don't you give me that cheeky grin after that last turn showing? Shameful. All right, so a couple of supers from him, and then yeah, 41, basically 42. It's 41.8, 42 million for our free-to-play Battlefield LR additional super. He hasn't once got an additional super. We've seen him get an additional normal. I still haven't seen his 12 key super attack animation. But yeah, I mean, him tanking that super, like I said, that super is 3.5 million damage, type neutral, plus super versus extreme modifier, and he takes double digits from it, which is very, very good. Like, I don't think we should be expecting free-to-play characters to be like double-digit tanking the hardest bosses in the game, because then the game would just be like too easy. Like, I think power creep would have gone way too far in like the opposite direction if free-to-play units are just like steamrolling the toughest events. But obviously, we still want them to be viable, and I think that that is pretty good. I'll save some AGL orbs so that we can get them with Garlic Jr. So we'll do that, and then we'll grab those for you. There we go. But yeah, I mean, I think he's pretty good. Now, should you buy all the copies straight away? The thing that is probably the toughest part of that choice is that we don't know what the future is going to bring. Like, if you have just enough points that you can buy all the copies and then you have no Battlefield memories left, we could suddenly find out with like the New Year's Dual Dokkan Fest or with the anniversary that they're easy-aing a Battlefield character, and then you need to use the Battlefield memories to buy the medals, because that's how that works, and that unit getting the easy A is actually really, really good, and then you don't have the currency to buy them. But unfortunately, that's always been the issue with Battlefield, is that the currency isn't really handled particularly well in terms of how much is given out versus how much everything costs. I haven't bought anything from the Battlefield shop for ages. I got the one copy of Aniraza when he first came out just to do the 55% showcase, and then I never bothered getting any of the other ones because he wasn't very good, and even seeing the private server rainbow showcases from back then when he came out, he wasn't even that good like on release, so I've never really bothered. So I haven't bought anything with Battlefield memories for months and months and months. So I do have enough to buy all the copies of Garlic Jr. and still have some left over, but even I'm still kind of undecided, because the big thing I should mention as well, we're running him on the Tech Golden Freezer team because it's his only 220% lead in the game. Because Tech Golden Freezer gives movie bosses the 170 and then an extra 50 to transformation boost. So he actually doesn't have any other 220 leader. So 635 start of turn. If he got supered straight away, yeah, he would die because he's only got 60% damage reduction. So I do have to do this, annoyingly. But do that. Grab those. And then I can get... Which one is it that gives him the support? Gives out the others the support? Well, that's only controllable, corroded body of mind or uncontrollable power, which I don't think... He's not an uncontrollable power, is he? I don't think so. No, so actually, Garlic Jr. actually doesn't get supported by Tech Janemba. But in Janemba does, so might as well grab those. $20.9, basically 21. Can he get the crit again here? We don't want him to finish them off, ideally. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so Yeah, 42.2. I mean, yeah, I think this guy's good. Man, it is tough. Like, I would say if you could buy all the copies, but then you have no Battlefield memories left, you are taking a risk. But out of everything as of everything we know now, because we can't see the future, we don't know. Like, it's always easy to save and not buy stuff so that you can maybe get something that's maybe coming out in the future. But in terms of what we know now and what is available in the shop and everything, Garlic Jr. I think is definitely worth getting. He's worth the Battlefield memories. If an Easy A does end up coming out that is really, really good and you're not able to do it straight away, then that is disappointing. But obviously the flip side of that is you save the Battlefield memories just in case, and then nothing good comes out for another like 6 months, and so then you've not bought Garlic Jr. for no reason. But I mention his leads because, like, in terms of the teams that you're going to run him on, like, you've got the Goma Demonic Power team or any of the existing Demonic Power teams, he would be pretty good because his passive is reliant on allies being movie bosses or Demonic Power, but they're not class restrictive. So obviously, like, all movie bosses characters are extreme apart from the AGL Tapion. But yeah, on a Demonic Power team, even with the super class characters like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the new Piccolo, like, they're going to be on the team with him on a Demonic Power build, but he's still going to have his full passive active, and he's still providing support to them. So, like, he honestly could be alright even as just like a floating support on the Daima Goku team, because he's going to give Daima Goku a nice little buff for that first turn. Like, especially if he's going to be on, like, if, like, Garlic Jr., you're going into the event and Garlic Jr. is on turn 2, then if you keep him on rotation, he comes back on turn 4, still has his support buff active, and then turn 4 is the turn where you can use Goku's active skill and he gets like the massive like attack buff turn. So, and the fact that this guy has a revive like in his back pocket I think is really good as well, because obviously that gives him the opportunity to survive in certain situations where, you know, you accidentally get caught out and then he just revives and you're fine. Because it's all allies as well. It's the good kind of revive. So, like here, if Janemba sells for us again, then Garlic Jr. just revives and we're fine. But of course he didn't. Which, yeah, is obviously going to be very helpful. Especially for teams like the Daima Goku team, where obviously like Daima, Goku, Piccolo, Glorio, those kind of characters on the team, they don't have revivals. So this guy having one helps out the team quite a lot. Yeah, and then 41.8 again. The only problem with running him on the team with superclass allies, obviously, is that you're not going to get Big Bad Bosses active, which is giving him a pretty significant amount of stats. Bro will not additional super. But yeah, I mean, these guys crit on their normals, which is usually quite bad for lower defense or, like, you know, weaker level characters, and he's still tanking their normals for double-digit damage as well. So, yeah, that's pretty good. I don't think we need this to go on much longer here. We've seen the big difference. Rainbow level 10 links, I think he's pretty good, dropping like 40 odd million attack stats, giving support for a couple of turns, then he has a revival, and then once he's revived he's giving support for another couple of turns. Like, I think he's actually pretty good. So if you've been saving your Battlefield memories for something that's actually worth getting, and you can pick up the copies here and still have a whole bunch left over, I think he's pretty worth it. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I think I will pull the trigger and go ahead and get all the copies and just start link leveling him. And then if something comes out in, like, you know, a month or two's time and I don't have enough Battlefield memories, I guess I'll just have to curse my past decisions, but it is what it is. So let me know your thoughts on Garlic Jr. down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.